Hey guys, welcome back. This is Masters32210, and I'm here to kind of reveal a project that I've been working on for the last several months. I'm interrupting my scheduled, I guess it'd be videos for this week. I had one specially planned. It was starting out the series. I've kind of showed y'all guys the Hot Wheels Power Wheel. Trying to remember what the videos were titled. I believe it was the Hot Wheels Power Wheel Jeep Hot Rod something or other. Those two videos that I've showed were actually fails. I'll kind of go ahead and reveal the next video. Let me spin this thing around. It's going to be on that one. That's the Hot Rod Death Trap, or I believe I've actually named the videos just the Death Trap on that one. I'm still in the process of finish building that one, but I've got enough videos that are uploaded already, so I was going to start releasing that one today. But I've actually decided to pause, and next week's video will be showing on the creation of that one, which, if you've kind of kept up with the videos on the last two that I've released, you'll see there's the exact frame. Here's the frame from the Hot Wheels Jeep, and I hate to spoil it, but this is going to be a fun project. This is literally nothing but leftover parts from all around my old shop. So I figured, okay, well, we got that one, but this is one that I was actually super excited about actually having something done with it. So this is why I kind of switched up videos today. I really wanted to show this off and get y'all's opinion on if you want to see some more videos on this. Now, I haven't videoed none of this, but this is what you're looking at. This is the Hot Rod golf cart. That was a failed video. I'll get in, if I do more videos, I'll explain what happened with this. But this is the front half. This is the golf cart. The back half, as you see how the little wheelbase, this is a rod mower. Can't believe the last 7 months I've been tinkering with this off and on, and I've actually gave it a good push to the point it actually runs. I actually took it for a long test drive yesterday, and I'm kind of super stoked to actually start producing more videos on this one. So I figured, why not let me break it down. Basically what I did is I had a friend of mine, one day I was at work, and I was just coming up with random crazy ideas for videos, and this thing kept popping up in my head, and I was like, well, I'm like, you know, I don't want to give up on the golf cart, but go-kart engines weren't doing it because I kept running into the one thing I hated. Go-kart engines would make this thing go forward, but I had no reverse. And I kept looking at my options through BMI carts, through Go Power Sports, and everybody sold a reverse transmission for a go-kart, but I didn't know how much weight it could handle. I didn't know, nobody actually had instructions how to mount it. You had to make your own mounting hardware. There was no guarantees on it, and for $230 something, I believe was the cost of it, or it was right around the $200 range. I just wasn't going to take that chance anymore. I got tired of dumping money into this cart. But matter of fact, Halloween's coming up, and this cart has been around my shop for almost, it's longer than 3 years, so probably at least 4 years. And this thing's been constantly redone and redone. I've done it several times on video, off video. But this time I wanted to actually get it to drive, and I wanted reverse. Let me kind of show you. Let me kind of just break down some basics. This is why I'm stoked. Now, y'all remember the dash? That was from the Hot Rod golf cart. Still have all the switches, and still got some more wiring to do. I need to run a power wire from the battery over to the main disconnect, which will feed the fuse box. This is a European style fuse box. Then that will power up the whole dash. Things I need to do. I still need to take out this volt gauge. We're going to put a new amp hour gauge, or amp gauge. I forgot what they call these. But basically, I'm going to get rid of the lawnmower version, and we're going to put one of the Sun Pro style. If you notice, I have the actual key switch from the ride mower, and that's because I lengthened all the wiring from the harness up back here all the way to go up underneath and go up there. You notice we have a shifter. This was, I'm trying to remember what brand name mower this was, but they're all basically the same. You have Craftsman. I think this is Populin Pro, I believe. And what this was, you had a foot pedal assembly, forward and go, or forward and reverse for the hydrostatic. But once you push the pedal forward, this was bent in a funny Z shape. This would have been your, I believe they called it cruise control. Well, you can notice right about here, I believe it was right about here, there was a bend. I turned around, straighten this thing up and cut it. We're going to remove this dog chewed up knob. My buddy's dog who donated the mower, his dog done chewed that sucker up, but it'll work for now. And if you notice, who knows what my, oh, that's from the bungee cord. We take the seat off to reveal all kind of craziness that I've been up to. You can see down here, this is the Lengthen Harness for the rod mower. I got my buddy Dan. I want to say thank you, Dan and Larry. Those guys are phenomenal. They donated. It's not brand new, but it's a very decent interstate car battery. It came from one of their projects that they didn't no longer need. I love some of these guys out here because, like, I just put the word out. I'm looking for odds and ends parts, and they know I'm building a contraption on a budget, and they definitely come through. So I got an interstate car battery down here, and I definitely, what I was coming up with the idea of putting another one over there, so we could run a multitude of lights and stuff for nighttime, or who knows what. But for right now, for the rod mower, this is perfect. And what I have here, I believe, is because the motor was not marked, it's a 21 to 24 horse twin cylinder. I believe, I want to say it was Briggs. I could be wrong. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's a Kohler. We got a mechanical fuel pump, so it sucks it sucks all the gas from the tank wherever it's located, and I'll point that out here in a second. But this is my crazy contraption. This is the shifter itself. I worked on this for probably several months, back and forth, and there is a lot of geometry. And now we're not talking about just these bends, even how to hook up to the original geometry in the back. And I'll take y'all back there and show y'all. But took one of the original ideas, which is down here. This is nothing more than like a jack shaft type setup, and all this is just literally just miscellaneous scrap metal, except for this rod. I went down to my local hardware store, which is Ace, and I believe this is 3/8. I want to say, I'm not 100% sure at the moment without the tag. This was sitting on my shop floor, or my shed floor for right now, and I was working with a bunch of odd pieces, different sizes of this round bar, and I was about to start welding them up, and I remembered, I was like, I just tripped over something on the way coming out of the shed, and I went and grabbed this and started bending it and playing around, and all of a sudden we have a shifter that moves the entire, it'll basically move everything on the back axle. Let me see if I can kind of show you this, because what I have back here is, this is an old dump trailer from a pull-behind cart for a rod mower. But I think I've showed this before. This is from the original Hot Rod. Which one was that from? I'm trying to remember. I've got bits and pieces. I'm trying to remember. That one was from... Yeah, actually that was from the Hot Rod golf cart. This was part of the plate setup, and part of the round bar that went through it that transferred from the, I believe it went from the original electric axle, and it kind of held another shaft over to transfer the power from the chain over to the original electric axle. And I've got just various tabs, and like I said, a lot of this is just junk. You can kind of see this is just basically just built out of junk. And basically when you pull the shifter back, you see it just literally, just like the original handle would, it just transfers all that around. Even to go show even some of the the stuff I use. Let me see if we can find one. Here is for the club car. This would have been the original brake, but one of the brake lines, steel braided, well, I forgot what you call it. So one of the original lines, you would have pushed the pedal to activate the brakes. Coming back here, here is one of the plates that went underneath the axle to hold the leaf spring together. Even used the same basic setup. From there, it pulls on a tab that was originally on that pedal, pulls it back up underneath. Walking around, let's see, and here goes the plate itself, and it goes that way up underneath, and what it does, it comes back, and you can see right here, this is even from the original club car. This is a spring I had laying around, and what it does, here goes the foot pedal. It actually, when you push that, it'll actually pull on the tensioner, releasing tension off your mower belt, and thus activating the brakes and detensioning the belt, keeping able, I guess it's going to be able to cut the power back to the rear transaxle, start hitting the brakes. But so far this thing has actually become heavy enough, just using the hand, little hand shifter and everything, so it cuts the power, etc., puts it neutral forward, and actually stops it. Here's another shot of the engine. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure the horsepower. I've actually pulled the engine numbers and tried to figure it out. Either I'm just not good enough, or I can't figure out what the hell I'm looking at. Twin cylinder, definitely is plenty strong enough. And you can kind of see the job of mating it up. Now, yeah, some of this has gotten a little rusty because, like I said, this is since I moved here. This was one of the original projects I started working on. Moving away from the shop, being depressed that I had no longer a shop. I needed something to tinker with, and the golf cart failed. So if y'all been with my channel long enough, you're going to kind of remember this, the hot rod golf cart. Well, I cannot believe this damn thing actually runs. Took it for a long test drive, and no, there's nothing hot rod about it. It is slow as a riding tractor, lawnmower, whatever the hell you want to call it. It is just not going to run that fast. Not yet, anyway. I have a couple ideas. Coming off the main frame with just a plain angle iron. Basically, I have a wing on this side and a wing on the other. And what I did is go ahead and bolt it up with 2 or 3 bolts to the original aluminum frame of the club cart. Coming back up front, took the angle iron, made a box where I've turned around and shot weld. I just welded it with a straight bead. And because the engine is here, this is one of the heaviest points. I tried to actually get this thing a little bit closer to up underneath the seat as I could. This is the closest I can get it without interfering with the body. So basically right now this is just resting on here, and believe me, that sucker's not coming loose. But I am going to go ahead and we're going to put about 2 or 4 bolts. Still not 100% done with this. So we have the shifter right here. We got there's the carburetor. The exhaust is down here. This is one thing I don't like, is we did go around the old farm. Your butt definitely tends to start heating up. What I do know is if I pull this one bolt, the muffler will come off, and I believe exposing these 2 pipes. And what I would like to do is maybe loop them, put a loop at the bottom, send the exhaust out of each side. Or I would like to do some kind of contraption where I can run one pipe curved back to an actual car muffler so we can quiet this thing down a hair. And we can see we still have access to all the critical components. Here's the air cleaner. My neighbor Austin, we were over here hanging out last night, which I started noticing it, but he noticed it before me fully, and he helped me. We cut everything to the angles so you're able to get this air cleaner cover off, access that. What else we got? Spark plugs. Even though this is tight quarters, here goes one of the spark plugs on here, and the other side is exactly angled about the same. Yes, you can still fit a socket over here to change the spark plugs out. Valve covers are the same thing as this side. You can still access them in case you got to do adjust your valves at all. What else we got? And oil filter. So we got everything. It's tight quarters, but it can still be accessed. Okay, let's go into the fuel tank. Fuel tank, he gave me the idea, so I decided to go with it. We're going to just leave the fuel tank up here. We took the original golf cart. I don't know what this thing would have held, balls, gloves, etc. Snipped everything out last night. Couldn't take it anymore. I had to figure out that spot, and I was like, he had about the best idea. Leave it suspended up here. Take the original mount. We'll leave it there. I'll run a piece of flat stock across the bottom. 2 long bolts, basically clamp it to the basket, and it'll rest right here. So that way, fill up is easy, and still have a bed so we can get stuff in and out of the back. With the length of this thing, I doubt I'll be towing anything, but it still leaves. Is this thing doing something? Nope. Alright, we'll get that out of the way. Still access the little tow hitch on the back, but I doubt we're going to actually be doing any towing with this thing, because the wheelbases then got ridiculously long. If I wanted to, I could have taken this and actually redone part of the frame and probably pulled that in a little bit, but I've learned to stay with the whole KISS method of keep it simple, stupid. This thing has a ridiculous wheelbase, which I wonder if I've left the tape measure, because you know what? They're going to have to pardon the shakiness of this video, because I'm not going to bother using my tripod today. Like I said, I'm interrupting what I normally scheduled for today, which we're going to get ready, which I've spoiled it for y'all. Getting on the hot rod, I'm sorry, the next video series is the death trap. So, let's see what we're at. Yep. We're in the neighborhood of almost 10-foot wheelbase. 10 foot. And we're not going to count that done yet. Wheelbase is 10 foot. And if y'all have watched the hot rod golf cart videos, we're going to add about another 2.5 foot. Well, not really 100% 2.5 foot. We're going to probably add another foot in length, because we are putting the F-150 front nose on this thing. The whole point, though I interrupted everything because I was stoked, this thing actually ran. How many times did y'all watch this thing in different video series where I rebuilt this damn thing over and over and over? It actually runs so far. We have forward, we have reverse. That was the biggest thing. I was not going to spend $200 with Go Power Sports or BMI carts to put a go-kart engine that would make this thing move about 5 miles an hour just to have reverse. So, the whole point is reuse your junk. I don't plan on being here at this location much longer. I'm waiting on the house to sell, or as sadly we can refer to it as the old shop, because we're going to build a bigger shop, and frankly, I do not want to haul a bunch more junk back to the new shop, so why not put all this junk back to use? Something I just seen, I have not pointed out yet. Every mower is either going to have an electric choke, or a manual, as in my case, throttle. Still got some stuff to do, clean up. Like, obviously, when I cut this slot, I cut it at a slight angle, so I'm going to have to just waller this out just to make that move just a hair a little bit easier. And while I'm here doing this, something keeps killing the battery, so if I have to, I will take one of the power wires and we're going to run it over to the quick disconnect. Let's go ahead. So this is going to be probably about it on this video. What I'm doing is just going ahead and charging this up. And I do want to get with another YouTuber that lives in the area. I've talked to him before. I'm not going to mention his name right now on video because I definitely wanted to show this off. Hopefully he's watching this video. I know I've told him about the crazy contraption I was putting together, but even he hasn't really seen it. It's time to do a pulley swap. The problem I've seen is the engine pulley and the rear pulley look almost identical in size, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to pull that off. Normally you want a big fat pulley up front little small one. I need to get more speed and I need to get more power because it will not even climb the septic hill to go up. But it will shoot around flat land. Well, alright guys. I'm Masses32210. Let me get a thumbs up if y'all like this idea. Put a lot of comments down below if y'all got any ideas, because I do have a lot more stuff planned for this project. I just figured I'd go ahead and kind of spoil it, and got a water drop on the glasses. But I figured I'd go ahead and kind of try to release this idea before I continued on my normal boring video series, so that way here in the near future, if y'all want to collaborate, shoot me some ideas, and you never know, maybe your idea I'll incorporate it into this cart. Thumbs up as always, guys, for you and me. Help me rate this channel. Definitely leave comments, the thumbs up, subscribe. If you're seeing this and you're wondering what the hell is this crazy fool doing, I love building stuff. So it doesn't matter what I build, I just like to put stuff together. And if it fails from now on, believe it or not, I'm showing you the fail videos as y'all just seen in these past two. Thank you guys.